I just realized that my microphone has been off this entire time. Right. I had something amazing to say at the beginning of the show, but apparently I had my microphone on mute. So, that's gone. That's lost for history. I didn't even remember what I said. But let me start over. Greetings, one and all. Hello, everybody. This week's episode of Scotch and Smoke Rings, episode 374. I'm your neighborhood friendly Oxhorn, as always, with my suspenders set to maximum stun. I've got a great show for you today. I'm 7 minutes late. Well, I was 7 minutes late previously when I had it muted. I am now 8 minutes late. But I am not 15 minutes late like I was last week. So things are improving. My wife got me this beer. I've never had it before. It's called Full Sail Amber, Oregon's original. So today is not Scotch and Smoke Rings. Today is beer and smoke rings, because this is my Scotch. That's all I have left in the world. Okay, you know what? I am going to make this Scotch and Smoke Rings by finishing this last little drib. But you can't watch me, because drinking out of the bottle is unclassy, and we don't do those kind of things here on the program. Yeah. Okay, there we go. The Scotch is gone, but I had some Scotch, and therefore it's Scotch and Smoke Rings. Cheers, ladies and gents. Noah Rogers says pinky up. It's slightly awkward. Blah. It's not a bad beer. The pinky thing ruins it, though. Crotan says, but why is all this Scotch going? I believe the line was rum. The Scotch is gone because I drank it. It took me a while. It took me probably a month or two. But I finally finished it. Cyrothica says, finally I made it to a live stream after 4 weeks of trying. You know what? I don't want to smoke this cigar. I want to smoke these cigars. These are my show cigars because they're the best ones. Welcome to the program, Cyrothica. Pleasure to have you on the show. These are my daily smoking cigars that are just for non-special occasions. But you see, that's how highly I estimate you guys. This is a special occasion for me, so I get to smoke a special cigar. Brady Rogers says, I love your vids, Oxhorn. I've been watching your vids a lot. It's my first live stream. Pleasure to have you on the program, and welcome to all of you who are watching this live for the first time. As you all know, I do publish the recording of this program on my Oxhorn channel after the program. And those watching the replay, you are also welcome on the program today. See, I'm just so inclusive. This is an inclusive program at Scotch and Smoke Rings. The Bancy Fedger says, whoa, Ox, my cigar sensors are all confused now. Are they indeed? I don't know what I could have done to confuse your cigar sensors. Today we are smoking a Henry Clay stock cut. This is one of the most highly rated box-pressed cigars by Cigar Aficionado. And I tried it a couple weeks ago and I loved it so much that it's become a staple. Come on, fire. Flames, don't let me down. That's the way to do it! My apologies to those of you watching live on YouTube right now. For some reason, my camera is doing this weird autofocus thing. Watch. So it's not doing it now. Anyway, that's causing the camera to kind of jitter in and out. Those watching on Twitch have a much better quality of image. One of these days, I'm going to have a better stream, a better internet connection, and when I do, I'll be able to stream in high definition both to Twitch and to YouTube. But right now, sadly, I can only do one. Brady Rogers says, so it's telling not to smoke, 'cause them want to smoke though. You heard it from Oxhorn. Don't smoke. It's bad for you. Dark Angel Overlord says, have you ever played Skyrim before? No, I haven't. Well, I take that back. Let me put an asterisk in that. A fan bought me Skyrim about a month ago. Since then, I've been playing it off and on, and this week I played a lot. I managed to get my character to the top of that mountain where I met the Greybeards, and I learned Fooz, Ro. I don't think I've learned the Da yet, but I can now do a knockback thing, and then I did like a whirlwind jump run where I had to get through a gate. Pretty magic. Dragons. Cryocryptic says, what are you drinking tonight, Ox? I finished my scotch. I'm all scotched out. I'm scotchless. If scotch were a ship, it would have been the Titanic, because it sank. I'm drinking the Full Sail Amber, Oregon's original beer. My wife picked it out for me. I never had it before. Let's try it. Full Sail, available from fine retailers anywhere. All right, Oregon guys, you owe me like $500. Free promotions. Carter West says, what game will you play next? Great question. Your timing is impeccable. I will be playing Fallout 4 next. Because I love that game, I have no intention to stop playing that game. And yet I also am aware of the reality, which is that people want to see more than just one video game. So I do plan to broaden my horizons, to spread my wings, to seek out new adventures and new opportunities, to boldly go where no ox has gone before. And for those reasons, I am seeking your guidance. So I created this poll last week that I showed off during the program. I've got a list of games that I'm interested in, and I want you to vote for the one that you like best. Here's the poll. This poll will be open until the show ends today. It already has a lot of votes from last week, but I want more of your opinions, so let me know. So far, there is one game that is winning, but I won't tell you what that is until after you vote. Do you plan on playing Skyrim Remastered? I do plan on playing Skyrim Remastered. Which is why I'm playing Skyrim right now. I'm trying to get used to the world. It's so different from Fallout 4. It's hard for me to wrap my head around. Cloud Surfer says, Ox, I just discovered your channel. You have a great voice. Fallout stuff is superb. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. I have had a lot of fun doing my Fallout stuff. And I've been working on a new video today. and I hope to have it done for you soon. I didn't get it done in time for the show, which means that after the show I need to finish it and upload it, so I've got a late night ahead of myself tonight, but it's going to be worth it. The video that I'm publishing tomorrow is my philosophy on mods, on what kind of mods I want to install, because there are a plethora of mods out there for Fallout 4. Some are great, some are not so great. And there are some that are great that I would still never use because they break my personal rules. That is what the video is about. I'm going to share those with you tomorrow morning, so stay tuned. Pepper Peppington, which is a lovely name, says, are you going to continue to do Fallout 4 mod videos when you're done with Fallout 4? Yes. Simple answer, yes. Brady Rogers says, Ox, can you do a Let's Play of Fallout 4? I can. I have the ability. The capacity is within this person to do such a thing as you described with your mouth. Or actually with your fingers. But I won't be doing that today. I do like doing Fallout 4 Let's Plays. In fact, well, never mind. But today I'm going to be doing Overwatch. So the way this program works is for an hour I do Scotch and Smoke Rings, which is just having conversations with those assembled today. After the full show, I play games with the fans. Sometimes it's a Fallout 4 Let's Play, sometimes it's Overwatch. And today it's going to be Overwatch. So when the program ends at 8 o'clock my time today, we will all switch to Twitch and play some Overwatch. So that's what's going on today. Beans says, Ox, I got a dead link on the straw poll. Anyone else got a dead link on the straw poll? Cause... $71M3N says, hey Ox, how many hours have you played on New Vegas? Just thinking about the poll. Well, I beat the game. I've got, I don't know how many hours I've got on it. I suppose I should pull up Steam and let you know. But I don't know how many hours I have on it. I beat the game. It was a lot of fun. Not sure what I would do content-wise, to be perfectly honest, if I produced videos for New Vegas, aside from lore videos. I'm sure there are quite a lot of lore videos I could do. Alright, New Vegas. I've got 49 hours played. Do you guys want to know what I have for Fallout 4? It's embarrassing. 1,595 hours. Slightly embarrassing, that. Alright, everyone else is saying that the link is working. Turbo Flea says, I got a splinter from the straw poll. P-O-L-E. Rabbit Death Knight says, hey, that's not too bad, Oxhorn. I need more of you on this program. You're making me feel better about myself. Thank you. Mini Trot 01 says, oh crap, somebody beat me into Fallout 4. I've got 910 hours invested. Well, I don't know whether to be proud of that or ashamed. Probably a mixture of both. Cheers. Indy Skywalker says, Oxhorn, this is just a suggestion, but can you do settlements on places you've already done, but different? Your Fallout 4... Oh, and then Fallen Wonder says, your Fallout 4 stuff has been a great help to me, despite not having access to mods for it. Well, I mean, I have a... you know, I'm not done with Fallout 4. There's still a lot for me to do. I have a big list, I'm looking at it right now, of content ideas that I'm going to be doing. Let's see. What are some of the ideas? For this weekend, I'm working on a video called The Long Trail Home. I won't give you any other... I won't give you any other feedback on that. I'll let you try and figure out what that's going to be about. I want to do faction settlements for every single faction. Like, what does a Brotherhood of Steel settlement look like, right? I want to do a video on Buddy, the robot, how you can get all of the beer recipes, the differences between ice cold and regular drinks. Is magic real? The history behind Nuka Cola and the military, my system specs. I've got a big list of all sorts of stuff to do. I want to finally nail down attack strength and figure out exactly what goes into a settlement's attack strength, and whether or not it's even possible to get your settlements to the point where you can 100% successfully defend a settlement that you do not show up to. I've been working on the math for that, trying to figure that out. So yeah, I got a lot of ideas for content that I'm working on. So I'm not done with Fallout 4. I still have a lot to do. The Bancy Fadger says, Ox, is one of your goals to become a modded follower of the game? I don't think I understand what that means. I do use mods in my game, but I don't know what you mean. A modded follower? Pepper Peppington says, is most of your time in Fallout 4 from playing the game or from doing videos of for your channel? Well, the way I play the game is... Well, that would be... Okay, so the way I play the game is when I'm working on a video, I don't save my game. Like, I'll install a mod, I'll review the mod, then I'll uninstall the mod, and then revert to a previous save before I installed that mod when I pick up my game again. I do that to try and keep my save games as clean as possible so I don't have a bunch of mods installed for videos that I'm reviewing, or that I don't suffer the consequences of experiments that I did in my actual game. But of course, Steam counts that time. So yeah, I'd say that a lot of that time is me working on videos for the game. Cigars says, I recently saw David Letterman on TV. His Zug Zug is just like yours, only a lot grayer. Well, he is of the appropriate age for a gray beard. And low-flying Blaine. My beard is going gray in places, especially out front here, and then on the sides. I got some gray hair going on in there. But Julianne Brake says, nice vids. I subbed a week. Can you do funny moments? Funny moments? I don't know what that means. Like, when I'm playing the game and some funny thing happens? The problem with Fallout 4 is that I would have to be recording 24/7. Like, every moment that I'm in the game, I would have to be recording. But I record at such a high frames per second. I use fraps that, man, that would take up a lot of time. It would take up a lot of space on my hard drive. But funny moments. Alright, I'll keep that in mind. I'm going to think about that. Oh, the Bancy Fadger clarifies. Someone could code you into the game as a custom follower. No, that's not a goal of mine. I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't be opposed to it. If that mod appeared on the Nexus, I wouldn't petition to have it taken down. But it's not a goal of mine. It's not something I'm like, man, if only I was a follower. If only I was a mod in Fallout 4. Oh man, look, I get to ban somebody. Ban. Turbo Flea says, I could be down with having an official Oxhorn companion. we could down a few bottles of scotch and go punch a Deathclaw. Hey, I should do dialogue, right? Just, I don't want my companion... If there is a companion of me in the game, just please, don't make it so that he can be romanced. Make it like Codsworth. Codsworth can't be romanced. I don't want to be romanced. I'm happy to have dialogue about drinking scotch and punching Deathclaws in the face. Just no romance, please. That could get awkward. Gregoron Blackbane says, claims to have a full-time job and can't invest time in World of Warcraft. Spends 1,500 hours playing Fallout 4. I mean, you're not wrong. That is inconsistent, isn't it? But I am making revenue off of this time. My Oxhorn YouTube channel is growing. I'm at like 43,000 subscribers now. It's making revenue. Someday, who knows? Maybe I could make a living off of it. We'll see. Rabbit Death Knight says, I'd love to have an official Oxhorn companion, but I'd be worried about Minuteman propaganda influencing my Brotherhood of Steel character. Yes, every time you get in a suit of T60 painted in a Brotherhood paint job, if you have me as a companion, I'll sit there and go, really? Really? That's right, my companion will judge you for getting in Brotherhood of Steel power armor. Greg Hartung says, no complaining, especially if you plan on resuming the brazen adventures of Oxnord. One of these days, I should do a Let's Play of Skyrim so that you guys can help me through this game. I'm already at the Greybeards. I've got my Fuzroda. The dragon shouts, yay. And I could use some viewer help with that. Patrick Ryder says, have you ever considered doing any Just Cause Let's Plays? I would really love to see that. You know, I've heard a lot about Just Cause. I'm going to have to plead ignorance on this. I've never played the game. But, let me see if I can find it. It is an open world game. Great. I prefer open world games. I have a lot of fun with those. Wait a minute. Oh, Just Cause 3. Released December 1, 2015. So it's the same age as Fallout 4, pretty much. A few months younger. Interesting. I could check it out. Dank Donkey says, Oxhorn, what's your favorite Fallout game? It's going to be Fallout 4. I realize the purists prefer New Vegas. I liked New Vegas. I played New Vegas and beat New Vegas, but I love the graphics of Fallout 4 better. I like the mods of Fallout 4 better. The story of Fallout 4 is great. It's a good story. I liked it. And I honestly don't mind the fact that the sole survivor is voiced by an actor. I like the shape of your nose, says Crotan. Great! Now I have that to think about. Thanks. Do I have... Shape of my nose, is it really that distinctive? Imagine Justin is on the program today. Good evening, Sir Oxhorn. Sorry I'm late for today. That's okay, good sir. I'm glad you're in the house. The Bancy Vedger says he must have played some after the live streams. As far as we saw, he got bit by the vampires. That's right, I reverted to an old save in Skyrim before I got bit by the vampires. Is my music extra loud? Yeah, it is. And then I have been playing it away from the camera. So I completed the quest where I had to kill the dragon at the tower. I absorbed his soul or something like a Highlander movie. And then I made my way to the Greybeards. That's where I'm at right now. I'm learning dragon jujitsu with the Greybeards on the top of the mountain. Yay! Somebody did a thing! But I don't have the window up, so I didn't see who it was. But thank you for doing that thing. I do appreciate it. Greg Hartung says, recorded messages, indeed. We do have some recorded messages this week. At least I have it up on my screen. Too many tabs, too many tabs. Let me get it up here and I'll check it out. Indeed we do. First on the program today is Greg Hartung. What is on your mind, good sir? The floor is yours.
Good evening, Oxhorn. It is I, the ever-intrepid Greg Hartung. I was pleased that the most requested game on your poll that you released last week was none other than Skyrim Remastered. I, for one, am looking forward to more hearty adventures of the brazen and adventurous Ox Nord. My question for you is, what will your videos focus on? Will you be focusing on the mods or more of a playthrough sort of format?
Great question, Greg. Thank you so much for asking. I will very likely be doing content on Skyrim Remastered when the time comes. As I said earlier, I'm not even close to being done with my Fallout 4 content. I have a lot more to make. But I will probably be playing some Skyrim Remastered and producing videos on it. The kind of content I'll be producing is probably going to be lore-based videos, mod-based videos. There's no settlement building that I know of, but there is player housing, so... You know, I just don't know enough about the game to really understand what kind of content I'll produce. But I will figure it out. Helsing15 says, I'm new to your channel, and I wanted to say thank you for making the settlement guide video. You are indeed welcome. I try to make my content as useful as possible. I put as much research into it before I produce a video as I possibly can. Sometimes I miss things, and the comment section of the video is where I learn that I miss things. You guys keep me honest, and I appreciate that. Thank you. Greg Hartung says, the lore of Skyrim is quite fascinating, though chances are you'll join the Stormcloaks and take arms against the dastardly elves and the Empire. Yeah, probably. I mean, you know me too well, Greg. I will probably take arms against the elves. Mini Trotto 1 says, don't crucify me. But I'm not a big fan of the Skyrim universe, so I'm happy to hear that there are a lot of Fallout videos left. You know what? I'm kind of in the same boat. Not exactly. I mean, I'm interested in Skyrim. I'm eager to learn more about Skyrim. But there is a reason that I never started playing Skyrim, and it's because I was really into fantasy games when I was younger. And now that I'm older, I'm leaning more towards science fiction and alternative universes. But I still am eager to explore this world. It's one of the best games of all time, so I'm told. So I'm eager to check it out. But there's absolutely no way I'm going to stop doing my Fallout 4 content. Fallout 4 is my baby. Ari Ez says, hey, Oxron, what was your magic moment in Fallout 4? Kind of something you will never forget. Alright, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. This is a spoiler alert. I've got a spoiler. I'm going to say it. It's coming out of my mouth right now. The moment that sticks in my mind the most, there are two. And I haven't done videos on them yet, but I will. And the moment that sticks in my mind the most is the moment you find out who Sean is. I made sure that I didn't read any spoilers. While I was playing the game, I didn't go to Reddit. I didn't go to YouTube. I didn't go anywhere. I just played the game. So everything that happened was completely new to me when I discovered it. So when I found out who Sean was, I was so upset and so surprised. So I remember when Father tells me that he is Sean, I remember sitting there. And I couldn't act. Like, the dialogue option is up and you're supposed to select something, and I'm like, processing. Wait, does not compute. What? And Bethesda actually thought about this, because if you wait a long time during that dialogue to respond, Father will go, he'll say, I know this can be hard to hear. If you're lost for words, I understand. And I'm sitting there going, ah. I was like, no, please don't let this be true. And it was true. That's one of the things about Fallout 4 that I love. The storytelling, it's good. I mean, it's good. Compared to other games, it's so good. And the reason you can tell it's good is if you've got a moral dilemma. Boy, I had a moral dilemma. Joining the Institute, discovering who Sean was, trying to figure these things out, I had a moral dilemma. At Far Harbor was the same way. I had a very strong moral dilemma with the end of Far Harbor. Spoiler alert for Far Harbor. This is a spoiler alert. It's coming right now, out of my mouth. Big spoiler alert for Far Harbor. So when you meet Dima, he goes on this big rant about the railroad. And, the railroad is erasing the minds of synths. And he gets on this high horse about how that's really horrible. But then you go and talk to the Komodo girl, or whatever her name is, the reason that you were there. She starts talking about how she doesn't quite trust Dima. She doesn't understand why. You learn all of these things that are going on, and then you learn that Dima did that exact same thing. He kills the real Audrey. Kasumi, thank you, La Kid. He kills the real Audrey, the captain, at Far Harbor. Erases the mind of a synth and puts that synth in place. Now, they do a lot of moralizing. They say, well, the reason we did this is because we needed somebody to calm the tensions of Far Harbor so that Far Harbor doesn't wage war with the nucleus or wage war against Dima himself. Understandable. But the way you did it, you killed a human being, and then you did exactly what you object to the railroad doing. You erased the mind of a synth and programmed in a new personality. The methods by which you did this thing, not the best. And I've never been a fan of the ends justify the means. I think that is a cop-out. So, the end of Far Harbor was really difficult for me. You have all of these options. You can destroy Far Harbor. Obviously, that's the evil option. You can make Dima go get justice, and if you choose that option, Dima is executed by Far Harbor, which is kind of good, because he killed a person and lied. That's kind of what he deserves. And yet if you do that, Far Harbor completely destroys the Nexus, the nucleus, and you're kind of like, well, do you really want the whole nucleus destroyed? That didn't feel right to me. I mean, that's a lot of people dead just because you wanted justice. So it was one of those things that was really hard, and that's great storytelling. When you're feeling just torn emotionally and morally by playing a flippin' video game, you know that's great storytelling. Pepper Peppington says, can I turn up the sound again? Yes. Thumbs up, turn up the sound. You got it. I know you can't read, but yes. Oh, chat, I can type. There we go. Spoilers over. Brady Rogers says, Ox, what is your favorite faction in the Nuka World DLC? I'm going to say the Operators. Sneaky the Lost says, personally, I feel the Railroad needs to reread their Asimov. There was a lot about the Railroad that bothered me. I'm honestly a little disappointed with how shallow the Railroad story was and is. I sided with the Railroad in my original gameplay. I actually didn't mean to. I really wanted to side with the Minutemen, but I had advanced so far in the Railroad quest line that I was forced to side with them or destroy them, and I didn't want to destroy them. I wanted to keep both. But I just felt like the Railroad side of things was kind of just thrown together. The Railroad, it seems like this covert organization, right? It's underground, they're doing all of these secret missions, but when you join the Railroad, you don't really get enough of that. And so I was a little disappointed with how they resolved them. Anyway, in terms of Raider factions, the Operators are my favorite Raider faction because they don't suffer from some of the biggest weaknesses that the others do. The Disciples suffer from bloodlust, and they have a world philosophy which says that as long as you can get away with it, it's good. Which is stupid. There are a lot of things, because what that does is that encourages their members to push the envelope and to try to do things until they get caught. But of course, once they get caught, then that's it. They're done. They're not only rejected by the Disciples, but they're going to be seeking justice from the people that they did the thing against. So it's not a good world philosophy. And then the Pack, they're just too animalistic. They're just devolving to their base desires. So there's really nothing noble within those two. The Operators, on the other hand, at least they are trying to achieve something worthwhile. And while at the end of the day it is greed, they're still in command of their passions to such a great extent that they can calm their bloodlust, they can calm their power struggles, because they do have a goal in mind, achieving wealth and achieving personal security. So they're the least devolved of the other Raider factions, and yet they're still very evil, because at the end of the day, they're all about greed. You know, they'll do anything to anyone as long as they monetarily benefit from it. And that's why I couldn't side with any of the Raider factions. I did have to kill them all. Carter West says, I need some advice on how to clear the Galactic Zone. My advice would be get the Star Cores. You don't have to clear all of the robots if you collect enough Star Cores. Go into the Vault Tech among the stars, and then into the ride, and I think you'll get enough Star Cores to get power back to Command Central, which then allows you to change the robots into non-aggressive mode, and then you don't have to kill the rest of the robots. And that's going to make it a lot easier for you. Ari-Ez says, what was your magic moment besides storyline? Something totally unexpected and random out in the wasteland. By the way, greetings from Switzerland. Well, I'll answer by saying that one of the magic moments for me where I just walked away going, wow, that was really cool, was when I think this was early in the game. I had just made the Brotherhood of Steel evil. I had worked with the Brotherhood of Steel up until a point, but I had just become enemies of the Brotherhood of Steel. And I'm in Lexington. And I walk through Lexington, and suddenly this swarm of ghouls approaches me and starts attacking me. And I kill them all, but then I hear a vertibird above me. There's a vertibird above me, and my character is still really young, so I had like one missile and one fat man, and I managed to take it down, but I had to use everything in my arsenal. And while I'm running around trying to get this vertibird, I'm stumbling upon the ruins of Lexington and aggroing a bunch more ghouls. So then more ghouls are attacking me, and I'm getting more ghouls. And then I hear an ogre. And this ogre starts throwing rocks at me, and I've got like 3 health left. I'm like, ah! And I run to the corner, and I'm trying to stim pack myself up, and then all I have is ammo for a pipe pistol. That's all I've got left. And so I'm sitting there ducking behind a corner to reload my gun, coming around the corner, plack, 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 ducking back, because I'm completely out of ammunition, except for my pipe pistol. And over the span of like 5 minutes, his health is going down, 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 down. I finally killed this ogre. I remember at the end of that, feeling so satisfied that I was not dead. That was a fun moment. Arcano Diacisis says, what are you smoking today? And today I'm smoking a Henry Clay stock cut cigar. We're about halfway through it today, and it is delicious. Although I need to relight it. I've been talking too much. You know I've been talking too much when my cigar goes out. Behemoth, says Brian66 with a 6 at the end. Correcting me. Thank you. I do appreciate that. It was a behemoth and not an ogre. Dark Angel Overlord says, I always have a problem with ammo in Fallout 4. Any advice? Sorry for my English. Get Scavenger as early on as you possibly can. That's what I did with all 3 of my major gameplays. I got Scavenger so that I'm just getting tons and tons of ammunition. And when you're early on in the game, you got to carry like 5 or 6 different types of guns with you just so that you have enough guns that you can use because you've got a variety of different ammunition. And then if there's a gun you just absolutely do not use, sell all of the ammunition you get. Whenever you get that ammo, just sell it. And then buy the ammo that you need for the guns that you actually use. It also helps if you have high luck. That's going to get you more ammunition in the containers that you find. And high charisma, because you'll get better prices for the ammunition that you sell. If you have a low charisma build, I recommend speccing into melee or unarmed, because then you never have to worry about running out of ammo. You've always got your arms, and you've always got your melee weapon. Michael Henry says, I hear people say that it's better to use matches on cigars rather than butane lighters. Are those people just being pretentious? Maybe, but they're also accurate. You are supposed to use matches, and the reason for that is because if you use a butane lighter like this, when you first depress it, butane fuel is being sucked into your cigar. And if the flame ever goes out while you're lighting it, again, you're sucking in all this butane fuel, which can alter the taste of a cigar. But I'm not a purist when it comes to things like that, so I tend to not obey the rules. It never bothers me, and this is all I have handy, so I need fire. Butane it is! Pepper Peppington says, do you think the Minutemen will bring in a new Commonwealth provisional government, then which would evolve into the NCR of the East Coast? Great question. And I've thought a lot about this, which I'm going to go into in a future video. But here's what I think what would happen. The Minutemen are not a governing body. They're a militia. They're comprised of individual citizens in their own freedom, out of their own volition, banding together to defend their right to live in peace, their right to not die. So they're not designed to govern. Their goal is not to create a government. But what they do is they keep raiders at bay, and they keep negative figures at bay, which allows a government to sprout up through the peace. So what would happen, what I think what would happen, is if as the Minutemen get stronger under the leadership of the General and Preston Garvey and whoever else is working on it, they demoralize raiders and people who are lawless, and they embolden settlers and people who obey the laws, which will allow a government to naturally evolve of its own accord. That is what I think what would happen. Gaiden Shinji says, any mods that make Garvey calm down on his settlement requests? You know, to be honest, I haven't got a settlement defense request from him in months. Ever since I installed Far Harbor, I haven't gotten one. That said, I beat the game, I've finished every quest in the game. Then I installed Far Harbor and I stopped getting settlement defense requests from him. So I didn't need a mod for it, but I also can't explain it because I've heard many people say completely opposite things. So I'm not sure how I got to that point. K9 is your daddy. Says, Oxhorn, if you had to return to any university of your choice, what course would you study? It depends on what I needed to do with it. If I was reverting back to my early 20s and I was trying to go to university so that I could choose a discipline upon which I could build a career, I would choose math and computer programming. I graduated with a degree in history, which was a lot of fun, but there are no history jobs outside of college. None. You literally have to wait for a historian to die before that job is available again. And nobody told me that. But if I were to choose a discipline that I could do out of pure joy, just for fun, it would be really hard for me to pick one. But if I could get into rocket science, I think what Elon Musk is doing right now is so cool and so fun. I'd love to be involved in a process like that. I think what NASA and the European space agencies are doing right now, landing on comets and visiting dwarf planets, is a lot of fun. I'd love to be involved in that somehow. Rick H. says, I don't get requests from him, but I do get notifications on my Pip-Boy quite a bit. Yeah, I'm the same way. I still get settlement defense alerts all the time, but that's unrelated to Preston Garvey and his Miniman quests. It's just a course of a part of the game. I've been recently trying to figure this out, so I released a video 3 days ago, talking about how you can reduce the attacks that your settlements get. And basically the answer to that is take all of your resources out of the workshops at those settlements and place them in some other container. If you have really low resources and really high defense, your settlements will not get attacked. And the reverse is true. Julian Maya says, what's your favorite DLC? Far Harbor is my favorite of the DLCs. DJ says, if you ever wanted to get your science on, check out the Smarter Everyday channel. Some really incredible stuff there. I do see the Smarter Everyday channel. It's a lot of fun. He's doing a great thing, that guy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is getting close to the end of the program. So just to recap, after we end the program, we all move to Twitch, where we continue playing Overwatch for a while. My Twitch is twitch.tv/Scotch and Smoke Rings, all one word. No spaces, no underscores, all one word, Scotch and Smoke Rings. So if you'd like to follow me there after the show, be sure to join me. Smoke ship time, ladies and gentlemen. At the end of every program, I blow into existence something that did not exist before. A ship of your creation. Well, it's of my creation, but it germinated in your mind. Give me your ideas for smoke ship ideas, and I will do my very best to use the artistry bound within this human being to create something beautiful. Connor Atkinson says, Ox, come on. Vim, Nuka, or Sunset? Vim. They got me at fishy tasting soda. Sounds so horrible. I want to try it. I'm all about Vim. All right, smoke ship number 1. Greg Hartung says, Oxhorn sailing his Salisbury Stakes. Your alliteration came unexpectedly. Let me try that again. Greg, you crack me up. After a few tense moments, Oxhorn, sailing on his Salisbury Stakes schooner smoothly across the seas of sausage, all was well until a mist, most ominous, maneuvered its way menacingly. Struggling to see through the veil, he could barely make out a figure in the distance. After a few tense moments, the individual slowly creeps forward to reveal itself as the physical manifestation of World of Warcraft. Wow. Ox is mesmerized at the entity, for its presence and appearance was too awesome for words to describe. I can only imagine. As the being beckoned Ox to step forward and join it, an enormous meteor of fellfire plummeted from the heavens and crashed upon the starboard bow. Emerging from the crater was the stalwart warlock, simply named Greg. I like how you wove yourself into that one, Greg. He points towards the manifestation and shouts, No! This one is already shackled to the will of a game. He cannot afford to be swayed by another. Oh, gosh. After a brief incantation, he summoned the spirit of the legendary Arnold Palmer and ordered his servant to destroy the creature. The spirit swooped behind it, and with a mighty swing of his forewood, he sent the manifestation soaring through the sky. The trio thus celebrated this victory the only logical way, by consuming copious amounts of Palmer's signature combination of lemonade and iced tea. Rest in peace, Arnold Palmer, you hero. Well, nicely done, Greg. That was quite a smoke ship. The YouTube crowd is being brief as always. A Deathclaw, a 3-masted schooner, Nuka Victory, Atom Cocktail, Pizza. Masts made of a bacon hull, made of jerky across the sea of chicken noodle soup, says Patrick Ryder. All right. All right, next up is the Bancy Fadger. The hard-working people of Skyrim become plagued by an imperial fleet of dastardly elves. As oppression rolled into everyday life, a local man from Windhelm, Gregoros Hartungnus, began to rally the true sons of Skyrim behind a Nordic legend of hope. The legend spoke of a man who had come to bring class and gaming videos to a land starving for it. The people of Windhelm kept to their lives and openly refused laws that claimed they must excessively eat hummus and wear ripped jeans. Until one day a figure appeared atop High Hrothgar. It was Oxhorn who unleashed a mighty shout to blast the entire army of elven invaders out of Skyrim in a single smoke ring. Fools roll Scotch! As the elves fall to their demise, their souls are absorbed by Oxhorn and infused within a badger who grew superhuman intelligence and began to harvest their life essences into what else but Canadian whiskey. I can't make this stuff up, ladies and gentlemen. These guys are so creative. Dude in a Mask Chad says, the airship with Brotherhood battling against an Enclave airship. A great battle happens. Lasers and plasma shooting past each ship. The Brotherhood winning, and they're shooting down the Enclave, who lived. Nicely done. Tennyson Crawford says, the Oxhorn Companion, firing his belching Scotch thrower as smoke ships fire volleys from their broadside cannons. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, great smoke ships all around. Imagine Justin says, a canoe with the words, made out of smoke, while having a bowler hat on the side hanging off the S off rings. Scotch of rings. Nicely done, everybody. All right, the winners today are Greg Hartung and Bancy Fadger. Your smoke ships were so creative. How could I not choose both? So I'm going to blow one smoke ship, but as it sails towards the camera, it will diverge into two different smoke ships with each different diorama before your eyes. All right, are you ready? Here we go. Whoa! Did you see it? Before your eyes, for only the briefest moments, you saw two smoke ships. The conjoined smoke ships came in and diverged this way, and on one hand we saw Greg Hartung's amazing smoke ship with the alliteration, and then Fancy Badger's smoke ship with the Foosrow Scotch. I amaze even myself sometimes. It's a gift, really. I can't explain it. The Bancy Badger says, that blew my mind! 2 ships in 1. I can't believe it. What a feat of strength. Hercules would be jealous, my friend. Dude in a Mask Chad says, gasps and faints. I get that effect, sorry. Hope you didn't hit anything on the way down. Mark says, magnificent, mind blown. Panda Rule said, I saw it all. And Tennyson says, you spoil us, Oxhorn. Well, that's what I do. That's why I'm here. Julianne says, were you inspired to be a YouTuber, or did you just want to bring your joy and your nice beard? Oh, and nice beard, by the way. I needed to justify the time I was dumping into Fallout 4. To be perfectly honest. I'm dumping all this time and energy into Fallout 4, and I'm like, you know what? I need to be making money for this. So I started making videos and publishing them to YouTube, and now I'm making money for this. A little. I don't know if it's enough. It's a little. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming to this week's episode of Scotch and Smoke Rings, episode 374. Tune in next week, same Ox time, same Ox channel, for episode 375. We're all going to go to Twitch, so head on over to twitch.tv/Scotch and Smoke Rings, all one word, if you would like to join us playing Overwatch. Until next week, ladies and gentlemen, be sure that each and every one of you stays classy.